Namaste. So we're going to carry on. Question: how do you know that your bloodline deserves to lead and the rest deserve to follow? Wealth and power is self-propagating. Therefore, I say to you that your bloodline only compromises the extreme elite of the world because your ancestors came to power by chance in the beginning, not because you're kind or special. In fact, there is nothing special, clever, or honorable about enslaving others. Hidden hand answer: it's not about deserving or not. Does one not Does one deserve to be born English or American or Italian or French or German? We came not to power by chance, but rather by intelligent design. This path of ours was not chosen by us, but rather it was appointed and accepted. Question: who is your creator, and is your creator the same as our creator? Hidden hand answer: this is an excellent question which I can use to draw our communication closer to the core. Yes and no. You would first need to understand the creation. In the beginning, there is the infinite one. This is the source of all, intelligent infinity. It is the undifferentiated absolute. Within it is unlimited potential, wanting to become. Think of it as the uncarved block of your Taoist traditions. Infinite intelligence, becoming aware of itself, seeks to experience itself, and the one infinite creator is born. In effect, the creator is a point of focused infinite consciousness or awareness into infinite intelligent energy. The one infinite creator, also becoming self-aware, seeks to experience itself as a creator, and in doing so begins the next step down the creational spiral. The one infinite creator, in focusing its infinite intelligence, becomes intelligent energy, which you would call this great central sun. And it divides itself into smaller portions of itself that can then in turn experience themselves as creators or central suns. In other words, each central sun or creator is a step down in conscious awareness or distortion from the original thought of creation. So in the beginning was not the word, but thought. The word is thought expressed and made manifest as creator. There is unity. Unity is all there is. Infinite intelligence and infinite energy. The two are one, and within them is the potential for all creation. This state of consciousness could be termed as being. Infinite intelligence does not recognize its potential. It is the undifferentiated absolute. But infinite energy recognizes the potential of becoming all things in order to bring any desired experience into being. Intelligent infinity can be likened to the central heartbeat of life and infinite energy as a spiritual lifeblood which pumps out for the creator to form the creation. Intelligent infinity can be likened to the central heartbeat of life. Oh, that was written twice. I just said that. Creation is based upon the three primary distortions of the infinite one. Number one, free will. In the first law or distortion of creation, the creator gives the free will to know and experience itself as an individuated, though paradoxically unified aspect of the one. Number two, love. In the second law of creation, the initial distortion of free will becomes a focus point of awareness known as logos, or love. Love, or logos, using its infinite intelligence energy, then takes on the role of co-creating a vast array of physical illusions, thought forms, or densities, dimensions, in which, according to its intelligent design, will best offer the range of potential experiences in which it can know itself. In effect, the one infinite creator, in dividing itself into logos, or love, could be termed in your third density, dimensional, understanding as a universal creator. In other words, the logos creates on a universal level of being. Logos creates physical universes in which it and the creator may experience their self. Let there be light. Number three, light. To manifest this infinite spiritual or life force energy into a physical thought form of densities, logos creates the third distortion of light. The three original primary distortions of the one into making the creation arise myriad hierarchies of the other sub-distortions, containing their own specific paradoxes. The goal of the game is to enter into these in further divisions of creation and then seek to harmonize the polarities. in order to once again know oneself as the creator of them. The goal of the game is to enter into these in further division of creation and then seek to harmonize the polarities in order to once again know oneself as the creator of them. The nature of all physically manifest energy is light. Wherever thus exists any form of physical matter, there is light, or divine intelligent energy at its core or center. Something which is infinite cannot be other than, or many. An infinite creator knows only unity. Thus, drawing upon its infinite intelligence, the infinite creator designed a blueprint based on the finite principles of free will, of awareness, and sublevel creations, which in turn could become aware of themselves and seek to experience themselves as creators. And so the Russian doll style experiment was step down and down and down, levels of creation within levels of creation. The one infinite creator, or great central sun, steps down its infinite energy to become Logos. Logos in turn designs vast universes of space and yet unmaterialized, stepping down and splitting itself again into Logi, plural for Logos. In other words, into an array of central suns which will each become a Logos, or co-creator, of its own universe, which with each unique individualized portion of the one infinite creator containing within it as its very essence intelligent infinity. Using the law of free will, each universal Logos designs and creates its own version or perspective of physical reality in which to experience itself as a creator. Stepping down again, it focuses its intelligent energy and creates the unmanifest form of galaxies within itself, and splits itself into yet further co-creator portions, sub-logos or suns, which in turn then will design and manifest their own ideas of physical reality in the form of points of conscious awareness that we call suns, stars, and planets. A planetary entity or soul begins the first entity of experience into which another individualized portion of the one can incarnate. Just as with all logos and sub-logos of creation, each soul is yet another smaller unique portion of the infinite one. At first, the intelligent energy of the planet is in a state that you would call chaos, meaning that its energy is undefined. Then the process begins again. The planetary energy begins to become aware of itself. This is in brackets. The first entity of awareness is consciousness. And the planetary logos, sub-logos in effect, begins to create other downward steps within itself, and the internal makeup of the planet begins to form as the raw elements of air and fire combine to work on the waters and earth, thus arising conscious awareness of their being, and the process of evolution begins, forming the second density. Second density beings begin to become aware of themselves as being separate, and thus begin to evolve toward the third density of self-conscious awareness, the lowest density into which a human soul can incarnate. Humans in turn, or the souls that incarnate with them, seek to return to the light and love from which they came as they begin the journey of progression, from third density up to the eighth density, and the return to the infinite oneness. Explanation of the densities beyond normal human consciousness is another question, though, so if you wish to know more about them, someone will need to ask an intelligent question which I can respond to so as to not impinge upon your free will not to know. So having set forth the above, I can return to further elucidate on your original question. Who is your creator, and is your creator the same as our creator? Answer. As I said, yes and no. Ultimately, every living thing and all living things are living. No. As I said, yes and no. Ultimately, every living thing and all things are living is created by the one infinite creator's initial universal creation. So yes, taken from that perspective, the one infinite creator focuses its infinite intelligence into an awareness point of infinite energy and brings the whole of creation into being. Though we are not directly created by the one infinite creator, but rather by our own logos, sublogos, and sub-sublogos, and so on. So from that perspective, whilst we are all essentially made up of the same stuff of creation initiated by the one infinite creator, our actual personal creators are different portions of or sub-logos of the one. In other words, yes, our creator, whilst originating from the same source, is not the same entity as your creator. Which brings me to a question from another poster. Never mind that. Question. You say that you come from 13 original bloodlines, yet the DNA mapping project clearly proved that all humanity descends from only 3. Does this mean you aren't human? Hidden Hand answer. An excellent question. Thank you. Yes, that is correct in a manner of speaking. If you were to meet me walking down the street, I would appear just as human as you do. We've been incarnating here with you for generations, yet our bloodlines do not originate from this planet. Question. Your answer to the 6 disciplines of learning are quite similar to a book about Atlantis that was supposed to have been channeled. Was this also a time for your bloodlines to post answers? Hidden Hand answer. Yes, that is correct, again, in a manner of speaking. Other, shall we say, off-world entities also visited the planet at that time and passed down their own understanding of creation as well as their technology from what we could best describe as being a future aspect of yourselves. It was humanity's errors in handling this information that ultimately led to the destruction of Atlantis. Having now answered a question on whether or not our lineage is of human origin, I can return to tie in that answer with an explanation as to who is our creator. I'm dancing close to the line in answering this, but the record needs to be set straight, and I should just about be able to get away with it without incurring my own upline's displeasure. Your creator, the one you have called Yahweh, is not God, inasmuch as your Bible refers to him as being the one true God. He is a creator, or a sub-logos, rather than the infinite one creator. He is not even a galactic level logos, but rather is the planetary logos for this one planet. Our creator is the one you refer to as Lucifer, the light bearer and the bright and morning star. Our creator is not the devil, as he has been spuriously portrayed in your Bible. Lucifer is what you would call a group soul or a social memory complex, which has evolved to the level of the 6th density, which in effect means that he, or more accurately we, has evolved to the level of sufficient that he or we has attained a status equal or arguably greater than that of Yahweh. So meaning that he has evolved greater than our God of the central sun, Yahweh, who we would refer to as God, I guess. In appearance, were you to gaze upon Lucifer's fullest expression of our being, the appearance would be that of a sun or a bright star. Or when stepping down into a 3rd density vibration, we would appear as what you might term an angel or light being. When an entity or soul group complex evolves into the level of the 6th density, it is by comparison to the amount of time it takes to get that far, a mere hop, skip, and a jump from the 8th density ultimate reunion with the one infinite creator. And then from there back to the dissolution into the source of all, intelligent infinity. We, he means our bloodline families, as a group soul or social memory complex, Lucifer, were on the verge of the 7th density ascension, though at this level, before harvest comes, we have the choice to progress higher or to return to help others of lower densities with their own evolution by passing down knowledge and wisdom to those who that call upon us for assistance by their own free will. Now, at this time, having made our decision to stay and help our galactic brothers and sisters in the One, we were assigned a challenge task by the Council of Elders, who act as the guardians of the galaxy from their 8th density headquarters on the planet Saturn. Yahweh, due to the fact that he had not handed down his own free will to know thyself to those incarnating upon his planet, was having very little evolutionary progress therein. So we, Lucifer, were sent to help. Once the order was given from the Council of Elders, we fell or descended back to a place where we could, with hard work and focus, once again materialize a 3rd density manifestation of ourselves. Yahweh had agreed to our coming. In fact, it was he who had initially asked for the Council Yahweh had agreed to our coming. In fact, it was he who had initially asked the council for a catalyst of change to enter into his creation and share the knowledge and wisdom we had attained through our ascensions. In the absence of free will upon the planet, there can be no polarity, and therefore nothing to choose between. Just as is portrayed in the book of Genesis, the planet was very Edenic, So like Garden of Eden in nature. Sure, it was a lovely paradise, yet the beings incarnating there had no agitator towards evolving beyond the third density, and therefore little hope of ever making the journey home to the One. Yahweh has become happy to keep his own little pet Eden project in effect, but with a little chance of the souls here making it home, it had become, in effect, an albeit very beautiful prison. Yahweh was, in modern parlance, running a benign dictatorship.